everyone, welcome to the 420 Smoke Room. Today our guest will be Heather. We are live on Relevant. I am waiting for Heather to hop on and join. I hope you liked the intro beat. It was a little longer than normal today, but that's because we're working live on Relevant, so I wanted to kind of give a little more time for her to join. Let's see if she's got it. Can you hear me, Heather? Oh, here she is. Hey, Heather.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I am well. This thing is kind of tricky.
It is, but once you get on it, it's very awesome. Don't you love it?
I love it. I love it.
Definitely. So, how old are you, Heather, and where are you from?
I am 38 and I am from Michigan. Just recently moved to Wyandotte. I love it here. Very nice.
Definitely. So, where were you from before? Like where did you grow up?
Well, that's a story. Let's get to that. So, I was born in Michigan. I moved when I was 5 to California. Stayed out there till about 94. Came back after that earthquake. I don't know if you guys remember hearing about that. That was pretty exciting. We got scared. We came back home. So we came back home to Hazel Park, where we moved from, from California. Yeah. So then we stayed there for about 18 years. And then.
And now that's where I know Heather from. For those of you who don't know, I also grew up in Hazel Park. And Heather is a co-admin in the 420 Smoke Room on Facebook. She's very awesome. She does random things in there. Let me have her tell you a little bit about what she does in the 420 Smoke Room on Facebook.
Okay, so 420 Smoke Room on Facebook is pretty much exactly as it sounds. We're 420 friendly. We discuss how it's helped us. We support each other. And we're the creators with Trisha. We both created the group together about, 2 years ago?
Yes.
About 2 years ago. And it kicked off. It was a really good start. We had a lot of games, a lot of contests. Facebook's getting really strict on our raffles and giveaways, but we've done a few of those, and we're working our ways around tweaking it so we can do more of those without Facebook suckering us.
Definitely. But then Heather's medical conditions kind of got in the way a little bit, and she had to step down for a little while. But now she's back healthier, and she's able to come back and start re-participating and picking back up where she left off, which is awesome, and I'm super excited about that.
Yes, and about that, the whole medical condition, and thank God for the cannabis industry, for the weed, for the medical industry with it too, because it has helped me so much with my mental health. Like, I've come so far from where I was and where I am now with it. I mean, it has helped me so much. I remember as a kid when I went through my trauma. And,
well, for a moment, let's kind of give people an idea of what your trauma is so they can kind of relate a little bit better to your story, because without actually knowing what your medical condition is, it's kind of hard to fully understand. So are you comfortable with revealing that?
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's not a problem. So
what are your medical conditions? Let's talk about that for a second before we go into how they became.
Okay, so I have bipolar 1 disorder. I have anxiety, and I have PTSD. I was diagnosed with PTSD at 3, and I did the counseling, therapy, the psychiatrist, the hospitals, medications, and, for years, it just, no progress. Just nothing. And then years went by, you get curious, you learn new things, so marijuana came into play. And I was like, let me try that, and you don't realize it right away that it helps. You just know you like it. It makes you feel good. And then I noticed as I used it, it eased the anxiety that I learned that I had, that I didn't know I had before I started smoking.
Okay.
It eased that. It eased the PTSD. And then as I got older, I was diagnosed with bipolar. And then once I, would go into my my bipolar mania. I'd smoke, and it's just soothing, calming, relaxing. And then it's not even about smoking. You got the edibles. Different effects. It's a beautiful thing. I was taking Xanax, and I don't even have to do those anymore. I don't have to wake up and need a pill to
function. Yeah, definitely. So let's talk about that. I'm kind of glad that you brought that up. So you have experience with pharmaceutical medications, and then you have this cannabis experience.
Yeah.
So how old were you when you started your pharmaceutical experiences, and how long did that about last?
I started smoking at 14. I started this pharmaceutical at 23, and it lasted for 12 years. Every day. Every day I would have to wake up and take a pill to deal with the anxiety, to deal with the depression, the bipolar, everything. And when you don't have those medications, and you run out, or they can't fill them fast enough, and you wake up and you're sick physically and mentally, it's just
right. The coming down is definitely different than a come down from marijuana. That
right.
is for sure. When you're comparing the two. So, what was it about your pharmaceutical meds, other than the come down issues, were you noticing that they weren't fully helping you? That something else was kind of needed?
More and more. You have to.
Well, what was it that you noticed specifically? When you say more and more, what did you notice more and more of?
Addiction.
The addiction part. Okay.
The addiction.
So that is
more and more addiction. And that goes with the whole.
So that's not actually helping you, though. So did you feel, though, at all at ease with the medications when you would take them during the day before the addiction parts? Did you feel at all like they were helping you?
No, they made me tired. They knocked me out.
They didn't put any ease to your thoughts because you couldn't have any.
Right. It's zombified. They'd make you into somebody you're not. You're just a whole totally different person. You're just a whole nother world.
So how was it as a mother trying to, because I know with my sicknesses, trying to cope and trying to get up and do daily things when I'm sick or on pharmaceutical meds back at that time, it was definitely a challenge as a single mom too at times where, you're the only one, but yet you have to take your medication, but yet how can you not stay, you have to stay weak. So you're drawn between the two, How was that experience for you, pharmaceutical wise?
It was hard. It was hard to pick and choose, okay, and then you would have to set up your day, okay, so I can't take this between this time and that time because I got this going on. So I would have to learn to do things differently, and even though I would do things differently, it was still there.
Mm-hmm.
So, it was hard. It was awful. It was shitty.
Definitely, and that's a very long time to go through that pharmaceutical experience. You said how long was it? 12 years?
At the least, 10 to 12, yeah.
Okay, that is a long time, definitely. To be in a constant, I feel like a puppet or a zombie to the pharmaceutical company when you're not able to function daily, but yet they call that a treatment option. I feel like I'd be better off with some of my thoughts because I can at least get through the day. So it's kind of hard to choose between the two depending on what, how it all is. So at this point, when did you start adding cannabis and realizing this is the trick? This is actually working for me specifically.
About 5 years ago.
And what was that experience like?
It was so nice. It was so nice to know that I didn't have to wake up and take a pill every day. It was so nice to know that if I'm having a moment, step away, go in the room, go eat an edible. Go
eat an edible. I love that. Right, I should try that. Go step away and eat an edible.
If you can't stop, go eat an edible.
I love it.
Go lock yourself in the bathroom and just take the whole tray with
you. Definitely. I like that advice. So after you would come out of the bathroom with a full tummy, how would you process life differently? What would you notice compared to if you would have went in the bathroom and took your pharmaceutical meds compared to the cannabis? What would the effect be? Describe the feeling, kind of when you come out of the bathroom. What are you looking at? How are you looking at life with your anxiety and PTSD?
It's calm, and I'm alert. I'm not a zombie. I'm able to focus, function. I'm able to process thoughts properly, not thoughts full of fog, and more just relax. I mean, just relax you for it, just.
Were you able to make more like family memories because you're awake? I could definitely see that being a big change
Oh,
there.
yeah. And for me, it triggers my creative side too. So, like, if, I'll come out and sometimes I'm like, all right, it's arts and crafts time. We're making snowman or we're going to cut a snowflake. Like, I get so creative with it. And kids love it. They're like, all right, this is nice. We're having fun. We're getting structured time. We're getting activities.
You're absolutely right. Like, I look back and when I first started cannabis, my kids were young, kind of like some of yours are. I know you also have an older one as well. But when I look back, I do remember like, oh my God, we'd pull out this, we'd do board games, we would do a lot because I'm high and I have the energy now and I have like the ability to sit through this with my pain or whatever else I'm, physically or mentally dealing with at the time. So definitely, I see the big change. So for you, how what would you describe to someone who has not found cannabis yet that for the similar conditions as you, like what would you recommend? What would be your advice to them about the pharmaceutical versus the cannabis?
Um, it's not really. I mean, everybody experiences a little bit different, so it's not something I can really explain, go in depth to, other than just take some time to yourself, lock yourself in a room, make sure your daily chores are done, and just try it and see if you like it.
Okay, I like that advice. Definitely. So cannabis for you, when did you start? I know that you grow and things like that. So when did you start getting involved into those type of things? And how has that changed life for you, being able to provide your own medication?
Question. That is amazing. So I've always wanted to grow. I I've never done it, and I started dating someone. Little did I know they grow, and like, so we're now moved in together. We're blended our families, and he's teaching me to grow, and like, it's amazing, like, to see the things that we're able to help with in the community and the resources we have to like just reach out and help out. It's just amazing. Like we make gummies for our next door neighbor. His aunt's she needs gummies because there's things that she needs but she can't take because she has problems, so she substitutes with the gummies. And to know that we can help somebody with that medically, professionally, legally, it is such a great feeling.
It is, but also financially, how are you saving money? I would assume, like, because you're not obviously fulfilling all your pharmaceutical meds. By growing your own meds, you're not obviously shopping at a dispensary and spending all your cash. So, yeah, let's talk about that part for a moment. How has that changed? Like, has that been a big game changer for you? Because, I mean, I would assume now you have more money for your actual bills because you have your own medication at hand and you're not putting money in someone else's hand daily.
My fiance and I do not have a job. This is our job.
Oh, okay.
We sit home, we raise our children, and we help our patients.
Okay. That's amazing.
It's been very nice. Like, we haven't been able to give back yet. We have an event coming up soon. This weekend we're working an event. But we've got some ideas that we're going to be doing with that, the funds from that. We're not quite sure where we're going to be leaning at, but we've got some ideas, so that's a start.
Definitely. So it's also been a income changer, it sounds like, for you and your family.
Yes.
Okay. I like that. So at this point, let's talk a little bit about how did you even discover that you had these medical issues? What was your diagnosis process like and your experiences with doctors?
Diagnosis. Diagnosis was through the doctors. They watched my behavioral habits. Um, they knew what had happened, so they put that into effect too. They just watched behavioral habits and damn, I forgot the question I said again.
The stoner in us. So basically, I'm just trying to develop like how your diagnosis process went. Was your experience good or bad overall? And did you identify with and agree with your diagnosis right away? Is kind of where I'm trying to lead into to get a better understanding.
That's a hard question.
It is. Would you like to move past it?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, that's fine. I totally understand. So the next one would kind of be like, I would normally kind of ask at this point something about your experiences with doctors, good or bad. And so, do you have any experiences, good or bad, that you would like to share that was in the pharmaceutical like business when you were dealing with medical doctors?
Let's see. No.
Nope. Well, because normally people kind of have like something that took place that kind of was like, okay, I want to change all of that as well. Like the doctors aren't hearing me. I want cannabis. They normally aren't agreeing with cannabis.
It's that they don't hear.
So yeah, so what don't like that's what I'm trying to understand because obviously we pull away for a reason that leads us into the cannabis direction even more. So I was kind of looking to see like what your reasoning was or your experience that was like, you know what, screw this, I'm doing it.
Well, I mean, I don't like taking pills. I mean, I'm sure, some of them could help, but the fact that I have to get up and take a pill every day, it's just, who wants to take a pill every day? I would rather wake up and just smoke a joint every day.
Right. Totally. Okay. And then I don't really know what to ask you because it's I don't really know where to go next. I'm high. I shouldn't have smoked that blunt.
I feel you on that
I
one.
normally don't get brain farts, but honestly, because you're so private, I kind of went blank now because I'm trying to keep it on your level, but not so it's personal. So
I get it.
yeah. So maybe you could help me identify some things that you do want to share, experiences to why you feel cannabis is a better choice overall. We've already shared quite a bit about those, but like any more personal experiences, any that you would be willing, because that's kind of more or less what people like. They're looking for their advice on, like, what would you recommend, like if the doctor's not hearing, like how did you decide cannabis was it? Where did you go to get your license? Stuff like that, maybe.
I don't have my license yet.
Oh, maybe you're. I assume. Okay.
I'm going next week. I'm actually in the process of it.
Well, recreational, it's legal here. So for those other states that are like, oh, no, we're recreational. We don't need our license. We're allowed to grow X amount with or without.
Yeah, that's what I love about this state. Like, you don't have to, like, you can still grow 12 plants without a license. You can still hold X amount of weed without a license.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? It's beautiful. I mean, it's not as good as Colorado.
No. But one day we shall be there.
We will be there. We will be there.
Let's dream.
We're getting there.
Yes. And so right now, don't you have a giveaway in the 420 Smoke Room and Swag Sesh?
I do. So those of you who would like to go figure out more of the details of the contest, don't forget, go onto Facebook, look up 420 Smoke Room, click the invite button, get your invite, go in there, look for the contest. It's in pinned follow comments, enter to win, and we'll be drawing a contest winner soon. Can't get full details out.
Can't get full details, correct. So if you want to know about it, you got to be there. So she told you where to be. If you're not sure, I'll also leave a link.
In it to win it.
Correct. That's Elizabeth. She's alive with us here. That's her famous line. I love it. Gotta be in it to win it. Shouts out to Elizabeth. She was the founder of Mama Bear 420, which got shut down, which we also, which is how Heather and I also know each other through there. And that was a great group. I'm kind of sad that it's gone. Shouts out to you, Elizabeth. Thanks for watching and always staying a true supporter. So let's kind of ask a little bit about your first experience with dispensaries.
That was fun.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
So I've had my first time walking in. That was fun. So I walked in this place. I don't know if I'm allowed to name drop or not, but I walked into this place.
You can name drop because they're as long as they're legitimate businesses. You can name drop all of them. Give them credit.
Hello?
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yep, I said you can name drop because they're legitimate dispensaries.
Sorry. It was Seaweeds.
Okay.
Detroit in 8 Mile by, was it Van Dyke? If you haven't been there, if they're still there, y'all need to go check it out. You walk in this place, it's amazing. So you have the waiting room that you have to get cleared in before you walk into the back, and it's like 3D flooring, like ocean floor. So, and the name of the building is Seaweeds. So you walk in this building, it's like 3D sharks on the wall, 3D dolphins on the floor. You feel like you're standing on top of the water looking down in.
You really feel stoned already when you get in, like trippy. Like, whoa, wait a minute. Am I at the right spot?
Right. And then you walk through the back and it's just, I was in heaven. It was so amazing. You had your edibles. You had your vapes. You had your flower. you know.
And
They have
did they
different
allow you
enjoy.
access to like view and look? 'Cause, for a lot of people, don't actually have dispensaries or recreational or anything like that yet. So they don't even know what they're missing out on. So let's kind of give them an idea of what to look forward to when they do get them there. What when you walk in, what can you physically touch and smell?
Everything.
Yes, that's the answer.
Everything.
It's like heaven. Let me see some of that. Let me smell some of this. Ooh, how much
Yes.
is that? Ooh, what if I get this and that together? Is there any deal?
Right? And they always have deals. Always have deals. I just picked up 6 cards for 100. You know?
Yup.
Well, come on.
Definitely, you can't even beat that. They are amazing, and they definitely have stepped their game up because I remember when carts first came out, how much they are, and
Oh,
I remember like a year ago they were like 4 for 100, buy or
yeah.
sometimes buy four get the fifth free, for a deal, you know. So like they always got all awesome promos. And it sounds like they're even getting better with the pens.
Oh, yeah.
You said how many did you get again? 5 or 6?
Six.
6?
Yes.
Where was that at?
You gotta go to Wyandotte.
Oh, why? Okay.
You gotta go down the river, girl.
Yeah, I mean, I go to the Puffs in Inkster all the time.
Okay.
I mean, it's I feel like it's quite the drive, but I mean, if I went all the way to Inkster to Wyandotte, it would be quite the drive just for some, cannabis products.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely we got some good deals out here, but I honestly, I've been taking care of myself with the growing, trying not to shop at those places right now.
Yeah.
So I don't really know all the current deals or the awesomeness because I'm like into my own awesomeness. So yeah.
Yeah, we do cool. It's like we don't like we have flour, but we don't sell like the flour. Like we don't like distribute. We don't like.
No, I
We
use
do
mine
like
for
clones
personal
and like
consumption.
the gummies. You know.
Yeah, I use mine for personal consumption.
Yeah.
I'll be
Yeah.
honest.
Exactly.
Because my medical problems, like I need to smoke, and I'm a constant smoker. I ain't gonna lie. I smoke them like a pack of cigarettes. No, not a pack a day,
Mhm.
but I do smoke them like cigarettes, and I'll smoke them, put them out, hit them again later, type of thing. A couple blunts a day, so I'll smoke like a pack or pack and a half a week if we were acting like it was cigarettes.
Yeah.
And I'm a blunt smoker. I tried the whole bong, I tried the whole bowl. It's just, I suck. My lungs just don't like to inhale those that way, and then I always choke, and I'm dying, and I can't breathe, and I'm
That's
praying to
fine.
God, like, save me. Okay, let's do it again. Like,
Yeah, I went through the whole bowl. I went through the whole bowl. I went through the whole bong, the whole
yeah,
bong,
I
the
just,
joint, the blunt. I did it all, and like for a long time, I was straight either bong or bowl. You know, it was one of the two. And then like just recently, it's flour. It's back to joints.
right. I mean, I like joints too, but I think something about that nicotine blunt wrap. I take the outer layer off too to try to take most of the tobacco off. And of course, you obviously empty the inside for those of you who don't smoke blunts and are wondering. You feel me? You empty the inside.
This is 21 and up, right?
Right. I take the outer layer off. I use natural silver games, and I just take the outer layer off the actual leaf, and then I have the inside brown thing, and I empty all the tobacco out. But something about that leaf and that tobacco mixed with it, um, it gives me a different type of high. And years ago, I ran into this guy from Russia, and he was saying years ago, back in whatever war, like he was like 60 years old, like probably like 10 years ago when this conversation took place. He used to take cigarettes and pick the cigarettes out and mix it with his tobacco and then put it back into the cigarette filter and smoke it like a cigarette. And I'm like, why do you do that? He's like, because that's what we did in the war, and it gives you an extra high. I'm like, what? And I'm like, is that why we always smoke blunt wraps with ours? Is that where we got that? I never understood why we decided to use. It's the only tobacco product that is literally used for cannabis is a blunt wrap. There's not any other form of any other way where they mix or intertwine the two. But there was something that guy said to me. I always stuck, and it's like, he's right.
Well, that's like like when I started smoking in school. That's when I noticed when I first started smoking. I noticed every time I smoked a cigarette after I smoked weed, I was higher.
Mm-hmm.
I was higher.
I don't smoke cigarettes though, so that's where I'm getting the tobacco because I don't. The nicotine because I'm not a cigarette smoker, so I feel like I'm not getting correctly high enough like for my body as well with the joints. I'm just not doing it, and with the bong, a bowl, none of it. It's not right. And when I put the tobacco, the blunt wrap itself with it, I'm awesome. It's perfect. I'm ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
And like I don't know what he said is right. And I'm like, but I don't put it in a cigarette or a filter, and I don't filter it before smoking it. Where he has it like on a cigarette, and he lit it.
Yeah.
But I'm not taking the time to, do all of that, or spending the
No.
money on cigarettes to waste the tobacco
Right.
with the prices nowadays. But yeah, so what would you say has been your support system through all of these trials and tribulations as you changed and transitioned from pharmaceutical to cannabis?
Is it who or what?
The who? Yup.
Who?
Who and like what did they do maybe to support you perhaps?
Shit. There's been quite a few people. Like, even though my kid's dad and I don't get along anymore, he was a really big supporter for a real long time.
That's amazing. And you can shout out as many people, you can do a few like that's totally fine. If there was multiple people to support, definitely give them recognition.
Absolutely, absolutely. And then I don't know if you ever met my friend Tara. I don't think you met Tara, but Tara, she was a great support for a really long time too. Her and I, we'd always be trading product back and forth. They having a bad day, here, try this. You having a bad day? Here, try that. We've always been there for each other. So that too. Oh my God, there's so many people I can't even think right now. So many
Well, that's
people.
amazing though that you have, a large amount of support people that's awesome. I would also kind of ask you a little bit about wanting to, if you could thank them, what would you kind of say? You can thank them as a whole or individually at this point, like if, whoever has been your support system.
Geez, let me think. My biggest one throughout the past year would have to be Ed. Ed is this crazy old man. He's awesome. He's like 70 years old, youngest bull you'll ever meet in your life. You wouldn't have thought he is as he is. Runs around barefoot shorts. Happiest person in the world. I remember Christmas, this Christmas time, it was my first tight Christmas with my kids in 18 years. And I wasn't able to do as much as I'd like to. They still got, and he went with me. And I remember looking at him one time and I was like, this sucks. I was like, yeah, my kids are getting a Christmas and they're getting what they want, but it's not as much as I do. He's like, how they're kids. Don't worry about it. They're 4 and 5. They're not going to know anything about nothing right now, and, and when the rights to work, like, he was always there for that too. And, like, he was just such a great person this past year. He'd pick me up from work, I'd be all drunk leaving from work, and I'd be crying, oh, I love you.
Aw.
Yeah. He'd look at me like, okay, Heather.
Right. But, sometimes we all need that one person that's just there and understands and, like, it's okay and tells you it's going to be okay.
Exactly. My mom being dead and my dad being dead and Jamie being not around. And you need people like that around you. You need people to tell you it's okay. Don't worry about it. It's going to be all right. Things will work out one step at a time.
Definitely. One step at a time, you're absolutely right. And I'm definitely sorry to hear about your parents. Not that I didn't already know, but, I am sorry.
Thank you.
I know that also probably had to be a very hard experience with you medically as well, processing and dealing with all of that. You've come such a long way, though, and I am super proud of you. I wanted to give you your recognition on that. And some people, when they get really far off, they just never come back, or it takes them a long, long time before they decide they want to come back around to life.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm really glad that you are doing amazing and that you are a different breed. You know what I mean? Like you got you're and I love it. Your soul is so you're always positive and happy even when you aren't. Like, I can tell there's times you're going through things and you're like, oh, what's going on? You're like still always willing to help and like chat and be there for others, even when you need somebody.
Yeah, you're making me cry.
Well, I just want to let you know, sometimes you don't got to be strong on your own, that you do have a support group, and, that's exactly what the 420 Smoke Room is for. Like, we all love you. We're all there for you, too. And whenever you're going through trials and tribulations, you're more than welcome to reach out. We're always here. You always are tough on your own, but you got to remember you can't fight all your battles by yourself. Sometimes, like you said, you just need that person to be there, and, having more than one person to be there is amazing. And I'm glad that you have like a large amount of people to be there for you. I'm really glad for you and how far you've come. I really do want you to know that. Like, I can't say that more times than I can express.
I appreciate that because you know what went on that last year.
I do, and
I know you know what on that last year, and like that's totally like not it's not relevant. You know, like that's done. Like, ugh.
But it's so important that you've picked up the pieces and you've moved on with life, because sometimes we just meet the wrong guy, and sometimes that path also leads us down because we're dealing with our own struggles that the wrong guy can pull us as well, on top of the struggles. So you've come a long way with your struggles on top of that bad guy, but he's gone now, long gone, and you found a new prince, and he seems like the good guy. And sometimes we have to go through those bad experiences in order to appreciate and be ready for the good ones. So sometimes it's a negative, but at the same time, it's helped you become the person you are now. So
absolutely.
God has everything intended. Sometimes we don't understand what it is and why. Like, why is he putting me through this? But later, the outcome is you lose all the things that weren't meant for you, and all the things that were will now be attracted.
Yes.
So now you're in that phase. So let's glow. Let's follow the glory and continue to move forward, because that's where the future is, and the past is no more.
It's just getting better.
It is. And now that you found cannabis to be like the number one saver on top of it all, like, it can't go wrong. You're just gonna be super happy all the time.
I think I might make some edibles and go dip off in the bathroom.
Yeah. So we'll know where to find you at 420 every day, right?
Yes, I am. Just look up Heather, and if you can't find me, look up the admins. I'm on the list.
Definitely. So what are you doing for 420 this year? What's your plans?
Well, we have an event. We're not, I don't know if we're doing anything on 420 that day per se, but we have an event to go do on the 24th. Cannabis event. So we're going to be doing that. I can't wait. I'm really excited for that.
Do you want to share where that is to give people a sneak, like, to be prepared and ready? So if they want to come up there and see you, they can?
So I don't have all the information. My boyfriend has all of that. Let me have him explain that.
Definitely. Bring him on. Introduce him. Mr. Prince Charming.
It supports these sisters that I know that support small businesses by doing pop-up events, and this is our second annual 420 pop-up event on the 23rd. There'll be other vendors there. There'll be other edibles. There's a trim machine guy coming. There's usually glass pieces there. Typically, it's like a smaller version of Hash.
Sweet. And where exactly is that located for people who want to pop up and get some edibles from y'all?
Where is the event located?
Yes.
I'll give you the exact address.
Perfect.
Okay, it is 16418 McNichols Road, Detroit, Michigan.
Sweet.
1 to 6 p.m.
1 to 6 on the 23rd?
Correct.
Okay, I think I'm gonna try to get a dog sitter. I think I'm gonna try to come.
It's usually pretty live. They get a DJ. There's a lot of good people out there. There's going to be a smoking room and a non-smoking room. We're personally going to be handing out gifts to the people who come into the smoking room.
Well, I definitely think I'm gonna pop up and see y'all for sure. I'm gonna try to bring my husband and make this happen.
Definitely. Look forward to it.
Me too. I look forward to seeing you guys. Well, Heather, I appreciate you coming on. Did you want to give any shout outs to anything or anybody else before we wrap it up?
Let's see. Shout out to you. Shout out to Ed. Shout out to Margaret. And that'd be it.
Well, all right. Well, I thank you for tuning in with us at the 420 Smoke Room, and find us on Facebook. Like I said, 420 Smoke Room. Heather has a giveaway going on. Also in Swag Sesh. She's an admin there as well. She's going to take it over there and do a lot of giveaways in the future. And we're going to be doing maybe some raffles and maybe some bingos, or I don't know exactly yet, but we're going to do some fun cannabis-related giveaways. So definitely check out Swag Sesh. I'm super excited about the upcoming of that page. We have about 1,000 members, I think, already there. So definitely I want to get it higher up, like how we have the 420 Smoke Room. So check out our giveaways. That'll be there. And on the 23rd, like she said, in Detroit on McNichols, the address I didn't recall, but it's on McNichols. You can rewind and listen to that one more time for anybody who wants to tune in or go there and shop. It's going to be like they said, lots of other tables, so not just them, a lot of other vendors. So you really don't know what you're gonna find. Plus DJ and music, so it sounds like a good old time.
I'm gonna go ahead and post the event and
yes, post it in all the groups everywhere.
Yeah, so
I'll
post
share.
it in there, and then that way people will have the address and the time of the day, and then they can show up.
Yeah, and if you send it to me in Messenger after this, when I go to air it on our other platforms later, I'll include in the bio the address, location, and the link to the pages and giveaways.
Perfect.
Definitely. So, all right, Heather, I look forward to doing a follow up with you soon and seeing how great your cannabis life is going and how your grows are looking.
Sounds good. I'll talk to you later. Hopefully see you next weekend.
Definitely. Bye-bye.
Bye.